You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
Good afternoon to you all back in the United States and other parts of the world. That's afternoon. Good evening to the Eastern Seaboard and beyond. Anyways, welcome to the new. I'm your host, Randy Perm. Woo! Welcome back to me. I've been on the road for the last couple of weeks, just all over the place, and so that's why I've been kind of absent, and I do apologize. Sorry, but not sorry. Comes with the nature, but no, it's been a great experience being out the net the last couple of weeks. Just like I said, it's been really busy. Just went to Chicago a couple of weeks ago. That was the start of the trip. Started my road trip to Chicago to walk my sister down the aisle for her wedding. Congratulations to Tanisha and Lanier Henry. They got married, although they've been together for years, like decades it seems, but they're like in their 20s. But it just seemed like they've been together forever and a day. But she gave me a call a couple months ago and asked me to walk her down the aisle. So I had that privilege and honor to do that, and it was a very, very beautiful wedding. And congratulations once again to my sister and my newly acquired brother-in-law, Lanier, and the extended family that we have acquired. So was there for a few days. Got a chance to visit some family. I got pictures I'm gonna show here in a minute. So, but got a chance to visit family. and see some of my old neighborhoods. And while I was there, there was the Chicago public school system was on strike, and I had a opportunity to talk to some of the teachers that were striking because right across from my hotel, they had a picket line, if you will, going on. And so, me being me, I mess with people, engage, whatever. So I went over and I said, hey, what's going on? Although I already had the background because I was watching the news while I was at breakfast, but to get a first hand knowledge and and actually interact with the people, some of the teachers there, there was some. Well, the two main reasons for the strike for the school system was one being the overcrowded classrooms and the funding, the general funding of the school systems not being able to bring on appropriate staff because some classes have children with special needs mixed in with the general population class students, and so it poses a teaching hazard, if you will, to have a classroom of 30 plus kids with one teacher, sometimes two, depending, to try to educate the children. And so those are one of the things that they were striking about. And the other issue was along the lines of their pay, their salary. And so I can't remember right now the numbers exactly, but over the course of 5 years, they would get like a 15% increase. And so they was trying to get a 15% increase over the course of 3 years. So those are some of the pillared some of the teachers. They was in high spirits. They were upset at the fact that it had to come to going on strike to get these demands from the city of Chicago to, help make a conducive learning environment for the children and for the families. And so, and I totally understood everything about that because growing up in Chicago, I endured, a period of it was a strike going on back in the 90s, so, but outside of that, seeing, I went to one of my schools, my elementary schools that I went to from 1988 to 1992, and I was talking to the staff there. The schools were open, don't get me wrong, and so, but they just wasn't in session, like the doors are open because they allowed the children because they understood the administrations. They understood that children, the parents still had to go to work and everything else. So they allowed for the kids to come to school from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock or 8 to 12 or something of that nature. But they just wasn't being taught anything. So they just kind of just sat in the classroom and babysat themselves, essentially. Yes, they had adult supervision, of course, but all in all. So, anyways, I had the opportunity to go visit one of my schools that I attended back from 1988 to 1992, and talk to some of the staff there and just reminiscing, walking the halls and seeing some of the things that actually still existed. I was mind blown. I was like, whoa, this bench is still here. I used to sit on this thing. The only thing that I did notice that was changed out was the water fountain. See, back then it was like the white porcelain water fountains, but this time they had metal ones. So and they had a paint job. But all in all, everything else was literally still intact. And so I was kind of like just, I don't know, I was in nostalgia, if you will. So, but anyways, I'll show you the pictures of what I have, and I apologize in advance. I kind of create a collage of pictures from Chicago and from my trip to France. I went to Bordeaux, France this week. I just got back over the weekend. Um, while in France, I was in Bordeaux. It's a city, a small town on the southwestern coast of France, and had an amazing time there with colleagues from work and everything as well, from work, essentially. We got a chance to experience a wine vineyard in the early afternoon, late afternoon, different restaurants, all kinds of things. And so you'll see the pictures here I'm about to show in a second. And while there, um, actually, I'll just show you. Hold on, let me get it up. All right, so here in the I guess you could say kind of like in the heart of the city of Bordeaux is one of their major churches. Here in Europe, you know, every almost every city, every country have their premier major architectural structures, and it's typically a church. And so I do not recall the name. It's like Saint Michele. Michele is something. It's not Saint Michael, but it's something along those lines. But I can't remember the name right now. I apologize. And my pictures are mixed up here, so I'm just going to just explain what they are as I go along through it. Here is this grass field is actually the location where my apartment building, three flat, used to sit back in the 1990s. And as you can see, it is now a grass field. And going all the way down, if you see it there towards the end of the street there, that that gray house used to have another house in front of that. And the trees that's on the side of it, that used to be a larger tree where we used to hang up our basketball rim onto the tree to play basketball in the front. And so when I pulled up to the block, I was like, "Whoa! The whole entire building is gone." And I was just shocked at that. Here's a picture of my dad and I hanging out before the wedding, and this is my mom and me at the wedding. Which I'm gonna give an early birthday shout out because tomorrow is her birthday. Happy birthday, mom! Happy birthday, mom! Love you. My parents are deaf, in case you did not know. But yes, so I just did a in sign language. Happy birthday, mom! Love you. This is downtown Bordeaux, France. Yes, they have a carnival, a stationary carnival. It doesn't it doesn't get taken down or anything like that. It actually stays up. And so, yeah, that's downtown Bordeaux, France. There at nighttime. Here is a mural, a small mural, if you will, that was finished in 1994 at my school. I helped start painting this thing here, and when I saw this, I was like, "Oh wow, it's still up! Holy crap!" And it had like a little signatures in the corner there. You can't really see it. It's actually in the bottom right hand corner. But I actually started on the Frederick Douglass and the Malcolm X. That way we could kind of like see who can all fit in the middle. Harriet Tubman, of course, Marcus Garvey, Sojourner Truth. I don't remember who that is after him. I want to say that's Benjamin Banneker, but I don't recall. And then Martin Luther King, of course, and then Malcolm X. And it was just, you know, the kids from the school at the bottom there. And our principal at the very end of the picture on the bottom there is Mr. Kerr. He's retired now, of course, a couple years ago. And here is a picture of all my siblings, except for two. Two of my brothers were not able to make it into town for this wedding, but this is the rest of the clan with my little baby niece in the front there, front center. But yes, I am the eldest of 11 siblings total, and that was pretty much all of us there at the wedding. And here is me walking my sister down the aisle for her wedding. All right, going back to France now. This here is the vineyard where all the grapes of wrath are stored. If you can remember it, if you know what that line is from, give me a call. Anyways, but no, this is the vineyards here from the grapes, the yard where they, and this is so actually funny. So you got the vineyard, you know, you got the grapes and everything. They pull the grapes, they bring it inside, they prepare them, put them into these vats here that you see. And let's see, and yes, and then it starts producing the wine. Of course, there's some other fermentation processes and everything else that goes into this. And then voila, they go into the barrels and they sit for, well, for this particular vineyard, they sit in these barrels for a year before they bottle them and sell them off. And they actually ship around the world, this particular vineyard. And this is what the bottle looks like. I actually picked up a couple of bottles myself because when I got back home uh, over the weekend, Sunday was April and I's anniversary. So we just celebrated our 14th year being married to each other. And in the town of Bordeaux, this here's the wall. I'm gonna show you. It's a larger picture also, but I got a close up of the World War II memorial for all of the French citizens that fought during World War II, and not necessarily coming out of Bordeaux, but just all around France. And these are all the names that were on the wall. And that is the wall almost to its entirety. To each flank, left and right, there is about 5 feet off. There's another smaller pillar of a wall with more names on it, and I thought that was very beautiful and well put together. All right, so that was the pictures, and like I was saying, in Bordeaux, like I said, picked up a bottle of couple of bottles actually of the wine from the vineyard there. This one's a 2008 special that April and I had already cracked open for our anniversary. And another interesting fun fact: Cognac, France, is located not too far from Bordeaux, and I was making plans to go visit Cognac, home of Hennessy, and cognacs in general, because I am a preferred cognac drinker. However, while in Bordeaux, I was at a restaurant and having my typical evening drink, if you will, and was talking to the owner of the restaurant, and he said he was quite insulted. It turned out to be kind of funny, but he was quite insulted at the fact that I asked for a cognac in his restaurant. He said, "We don't drink cognac here. We drink Armagnac." And I thought he was joking. I was like, I never even heard of Armagnac. What are you talking about? And so we was going back and forth and everything, and he pulls out this bottle of Armagnac, and I read the bottle and everything. I said, okay, is this like some kind of bootleg version that you sell at your restaurant? He said, no, 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 no. Armagnac is a South France specialty. Cognac is a little bit northern, so but this is a South France drink that we drink here. And I said, oh, okay. And he's like, I will give you some on the house because obviously you are an ignorant American and you don't know any better. He didn't say all that, but I was like, okay. And so I thoroughly enjoyed it, and had a glass and came back for more. And I was actually on my way back home, trying to bring back a bottle of Armagnac, and could not find any. And my suitcase was already overweight from all the bottles of wine that I was bringing back. But anyways, in clothes, I had overpacked for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking. But just ironically, our good friend here came over on our anniversary night while we was having dinner. He had dinner with us, and just by the grace of God, and this is only God. Like I don't know, but it was what I do know is it was God. But it was mighty ironic that I was upset at the fact that I could not bring back a bottle of Armagnac to add to my collection and to enjoy. And he just so happened to bring me a bottle of Armagnac, and I hadn't even talked to him. It was a trip. I said, "How did you know?" And he said, "No, what? Then I was looking for a bottle." He said, "Oh, I thought that was cognac. All I saw was the NAC. I wasn't even paying attention." And I was like, "Wow." So that was great. But anyways, we're gonna jump to a commercial break. We'll be right back after this quick, short message.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
There's not much time. You got to be miles away from here for dawn. Where is she? Follow that North Star. If there are no stars, just follow the river. Listen for them. Fear is your enemy. Whoa, easy now.
I'm gonna be free or die.
I don't know if you know how extraordinary this is, but you have made it 100 miles to freedom all by yourself. Would you like to pick a new name to mark your freedom?
Harriet Tubman. You are welcome here anytime. If I'm free, my family should be too. I made up my mind, I'm going back. You're confident, composed. When trouble comes, you'll be ready.
Papers. Says here you're 5.5 feet tall. You ain't more than 5 feet.
Must have won my high boots that day.
Why you back here? It ain't safe.
I come to get you. Bring all of you to freedom.
Do you know what would happen if you got caught? You got lucky, Harriet.
I made it this far on my own, so don't you tell me what I can't do.
Harriet, welcome to the Underground Railroad.
Everybody, everywhere is looking for you.
God don't mean people to own people.
Find this thief and burn her at the stake.
I would give every last drop of blood in my veins until this monster called slavery is dead. Ready?
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
All right, welcome back. Folks, we are in the end hour for the release of Harriet. Comes out today. In fact, I'm going to check first thing tomorrow morning to see if it's playing at the theaters across the street. And if it is, I am buying 30 tickets because I'm going to see it for every day for the rest of this month. No, I'm just joking. I ain't got time for it. Well, I am going to see it a couple times at least. But so I'm excited for that. But anyways, the moment you've been waiting for. A lot of my friends have been asking me about my thoughts, my opinions, my commentary. And here you are. Let me caveat with this before I begin. Folks, if you are not able to tune in to TECN Live on enet.com/TECN TV, this show will be uploaded on my YouTube channel and the link and stuff will be shared when it's available. All right. United States Congress has began the formalization process for impeachment. Now, here we go. House Resolution 660 was passed yesterday afternoon. The vote was 223 to 196, something like that. It was a party line vote, of course. And 4 Democrats voted no. And I want to say 2 Republicans voted yes, something like that. But anyways, the point of the matter is this. I don't care how you may personally feel about the President of the United States. I don't care how you may perceive the roles and responsibility of the presidency and what he has been allegedly accused of doing with this Ukraine scandal. Now, however, I will lay it out like this, folks. When you have an impeachment queer inquiry, it basically says to me, it's just me, that we're not sure if a crime, a high crime, or a misdemeanor was broken, but we're going to dig into this to hopefully find something, and then we can create the articles of impeachment based on whatever high crime and misdemeanor that we extrapolate from looking into talking to all these different people. Okay. However you want to investigate that. Whatever. But folks, my contention is this. And this is me just being neutral, down the middle, fair to all sides. And speaking as a black man and understanding very, very well how the judicial system works. Folks, if there is an established law, established list of crimes, rules, protocols, whatever, and if person A breaks it with malicious intent, mind you, then yes, they should be subjected to some form of punishment or whatever the case, or whatever the consequences shall bring of that. However, here's my point. Here's my problem. When person B, C, D, E, F, and G are trying to figure out if there was a crime at all, if there was even a law associated with it, to try to pin a crime on the person, that's where I have a problem. Because if you are accusing someone of committing a crime, then what you're telling me is that there was a law already establishing what that crime was, and you're not trying to figure out if there was a crime broken or a law broken. But I digress. But I get it. A lot of people are upset from the 2016 election results. I get that. I understand. Just the same as a lot of people were upset about the 2008 election. A lot of people were upset about the 2004 election, the 2000 election, the 1988 election. Everybody's upset about a damn election. Okay? But this is actually unique. And I would say that I implore Congress to collectively, that is, to think about what it is that you have wasted 3 years on and what that energy could have been applied to help your constituency and the American people overall. Because these 3 years of trying to find a crime or a law or something to try to get rid of a duly elected president of the United States seems like it's just been nothing but a waste of time. But okay. All right. So that's how I look at this. Now, granted, if we want to deep dive into this whole Ukraine thing and say, oh, but he solicited, help from a foreign power to interfere with the election or to investigate a candidate for a rival candidate and everything else, not really. So here we are. Phone call. Hey, what's up, dog? Not much, chilling. What you up to? I can't call it. Oh, yeah, that's all good. Hey, what you up? What's going on, man? What's up? So, I got a favor to ask you. I have this burning issue that I'm dealing with. It's been on my mind, and I need you to look into this because it's coming from your country, actually. This person's kid was part of this company, and it seemed like there was some shady stuff going on and whatever else. I just need you to look into it and see, what went down with that, and why is it that the person's father, who was in a very influential and powerful position at the time, threatened to withhold funds and everything else if this investigation didn't go away and all this stuff into his kid. So I just want you to look into all that and see, see what was going on with that, because we got some buzz going on around here that was some illegal activity and it could come back to bite us as a country, in the butt. And so I just want to try to put this, be transparent and get this out there and say, hey, we're looking into this and whatever else. Can you help me out with that? Man, I don't know. I got a lot going on over here. I just got elected, and I know you did. But just do me a favor. Just check it out. Just see what you can come up. What comes of it. Because this will really help us out. And everything else. All right, I'll see what I can do. I really appreciate it, man. I need you to really do this. End quote. In summary, that's basically how the conversation went. And the transcript was released a couple of days later. And so that was the premise, or the basis of this conversation. So Congress is now, based on this whistleblower who had these grave concerns about impropriety and abuse of power and coercing someone to investigate a political rival candidate, decided that they wanted to, bring this to the table, bring this to light, and all that's fine. That's great. If there was actual, some issues with that, then okay, no qualms there. However, pretty much everybody that's was on that call, even the person himself said, no, there was no pressure. We're just talking. It's all good. It's whatever. But hey, okay, whatever. I'm just saying, we have to think about what it is that we're trying to get after, and what is it that we're getting after. Is it actually something to get after? I don't know. But from my perspective, I just think that if I'll leave that alone. Bottom line is this: people like to say that the president is committing all these crimes and he's doing all this stuff, all this illegal stuff, and he needs to be impeached. Okay. What are these crimes that he's breaking? What laws is it that he is breaking or broken that he just keeps getting away with? Because, like I said, as a black man, I want to know. Because us black folks, when we break a law, boom, done deal, in jail, shot, whatever. I'm not saying it's just black people, but statistically, I can never say that word. Statistically speaking, black person break a law, it's open shut case. Whatever the consequences come of it, it is what it is. But if the president is breaking all these laws and he's just getting away with it, I'm starting to wonder: is it executive privilege? Is it white privilege? Or is it just a privilege that nobody knows what the hell it is? Because how is it possible that a person is breaking all these laws and committing all these crimes and is not getting in trouble for it? All these investigations and nothing is coming of it, except for a couple of indictments here and there of random people. But okay, fine. I will let you have your Kool-Aid and drink it, okay? Speaking of which, I'm going to drink some Kool-Aid right now. We'll be back after this short message.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
I used to think that love was just a fairy tale, until that first hello, until that first smile. But if I had to do it all again, I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause this love is everlasting. Suddenly life has new meaning to me. There's beauty up above, and things we never take notice of. You wake up and suddenly you're in love. You're everything a man could want and more. 1,000 words are not enough to say what I feel inside. Holding hands as we walk along the shore. Never felt like this before. Now you're all I'm living for. Suddenly, life has new meaning to me. There's beauty up above, and things we never take notice of. You wake up and suddenly you're in love. Each day I pray this love affair would last forever. Suddenly, life has new meaning to me. There's beauty up above, and things we never take notice of. You wake up suddenly, you're in love. There's beauty up above, things we never take notice of. You wake up and suddenly you're in love.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
breaking news today coming out of Lebanon. The back in 2017, let me preface with that. Back in 2017, December of 2017, a lady by the name of gosh, just escaped me. Rebecca Dykes. Sorry, Rebecca Dykes. She called for an Uber. It's quite innocent, leaving the bar, don't want to drive, had a couple of drinks, calls an Uber, and ends up raped and killed, and her body was dumped on the side of a highway. And the Uber driver by the name of Tar- to what's his name? Tariq Hashish confessed to the killing, and he is facing the death penalty. Now, in Lebanon, interestingly enough, when you commit a murder, and that this is an egregious crime, and yeah, you gotta go, buddy. And so, understandably so, because Miss Miss Dykes, she was a embassy worker for the British embassy located in Lebanon, in Beirut, and yeah, and that just created, some international mess. And so we're glad to see that this trial and everything has came to a close, and Lebanese authorities have been encouraging people to utilize the traditional taxi system versus Uber, because people like this particular individual who was driving an Uber actually had a criminal background. And Uber, the company itself, said they were not aware of him having a criminal background, criminal history. He was arrested back in 2009, somewhere around that window, for stealing a motorcycle, and had another, couple of run-ins with the law since then, prior up to him driving for Uber, and actually spent 6 months in jail for it. So so that's where they stand currently with that. So glad to see that case has been brought to a close, that you just broke a little while ago, earlier today. So kudos to the Lebanese authorities for sealing the deal on that, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the Dykes family on their loss of a loved one. Okay, moving right along. Speaking of unfortunate, untimely deaths, we experienced 3 this in October, last couple of weeks. One was Representative Elijah Cummings, representative for Baltimore, Maryland, and he passed away from a long-standing health condition, and it was actually seemed like it was just out of sky blue. But of course, a lot of people felt that loss, of course, naturally, but they also almost tried to politicize it in a sense, bringing up, the beef between him and President Trump, and so others, of course, were like, hey, now is not the time. Had nothing to do with that. It just happened to be coincidental. So once again, thoughts and prayers go out to the Cummings family on their loss. Former Representative John Conyers also passed away just last week. He was 90 years old, but he also had a long-standing history of health problems, and so that's why he did not seek re-election in 2017. And he passed away. He was representative out of Michigan, Detroit. He covered half of Detroit and another suburb area of Michigan. And more so recently, and this one kind of like hit me like, whoa, was the passing of John Witherspoon on yesterday. And John Witherspoon everybody knows him as Pops, and from the Friday movies and everything else. And I would tell you that that watching him over the years since at least the early 90s, like when I was a little shorty, just watching him, it was like that's the kind of guy that I want my if I had a grandfather, or if he was my grandfather, he would be my grandfather. That was that persona, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching his character over the years on many different movies and TV shows and everything else, and it kind of I felt a little blow to my soul when I woke up and saw legendary actor and comedian John Witherspoon dies at 8. I was like, oh, come on, man, we just losing them all. But and rest in heaven, rest in paradise. Thoroughly enjoy it, because you deserve that. And this particular scene here is from Friday, when he was teaching Ice Cube, Craig, in the movie, that having a gun to go out to solve your problems is not the answer. You need to learn how to use your hands and fight. You may lose some, you may win some, but you will live to see another day. And that was one of his, I would probably say, one of his most iconic lines in everything that he's done. I mean, yeah, he has some funny lines in a lot of things, even in his stand-up back on BET and everything goes bang, 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 and all that. But, it's just, like I said, that this one, like, I was like, ooh, man, we lost John Witherspoon. Man, can't expect him to live forever, but still, it's just when you get news like that, you just kind of But yeah, that's pretty much the wrap up. And thank you all for tuning in. If you are on YouTube, or of course most people subscribe to YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel, Randy Perms. Type it in and it'll pop up, I'm sure. You can follow us on Twitter at rperm. You can LinkedIn with me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn with me on LinkedIn. Be happy to work with you there as well. Follow us on our Facebook page, our family, what do you call it? Our parent page, TECN, the Exceptional Conservative Network. And yeah, we'll see you next week, God willing. Hopefully I don't croak, untimely, but nonetheless, I will be here next week, and we will link up and get it cracking. Take care. God bless you all. Have a safe and fantastic weekend, and we will see you all next week.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.